Today is Friday, October 30th. Welcome to this edition of Nevada County Now. Today's episode we're talking elections, local authors, Halloween, and more. Hope you'll join us. Hello and welcome to Nevada County Now. I'm your host, Cole Pettit. Election Day is this coming Tuesday, November 3rd, and Nevada County has seen an increased voter turnout thus far. For more on how voting's going, let's turn it over to Sonora Slater.
Thanks, Cole. The 2020 election is drawing ever closer, and the minds of all are upon arguably one of the most important opportunities that our country, our state, and our local governments offer us. The opportunity to express our desires for the future through voting for representative leaders. This right is offered to American citizens once they turn 18, and yet historically, voters between the ages of 18 to 28 have a very low voter turnout. Why are young voters less likely to make their voices heard in this way? And why is it important for them to make the decision to vote, just as it is important for other eligible voters to do the same? Adam Merrill, a recent graduate of Bear River High School, explained some of the difficulties young voters face in voting. The problem isn't just that old people are more willing to vote than younger people, he said, before citing that young people tend to move more often than older people, making it more difficult to make sure they're registered at the right address. He also said that they can struggle with finding transportation to vote in person, or getting time off of work and school to do so. The world that has been given to us is not bright, and we need to change that. And while an individual vote has a small effect, the vote of millions of young people does not, he said. Scout Pettit, a fellow graduate of Bear River, talked about her belief that the generation for whom this is their first time, or one of their first times voting in a presidential election, is invested in voting, despite the fact that there are still many who she believes don't care enough to vote. I think the past generation didn't have as much to worry about in their first election, she said. She also said that most likely a lot of young people are using social media, at least in part, to form their opinions, which has its pros and cons. I believe that, yes, social media can be very informative. However, that does not mean it's 100% reliable, she said. In many places across the country, young voters have been sending in ballots in much higher numbers than ever before. While there isn't specific demographic data available for Nevada County currently, so far as if there has been an increase in the number of ballots sent in by those aged 18 to 28, overall, early voting numbers in our county are much higher than in years past. According to the union, more than 16,000 Nevada County voters have already returned their ballots, many more than would usually have turned in ballots by this time. According to Natalie Adona, the assistant clerk recorder/registrar of voters for Nevada County, she has been very encouraged to see a high level of ballots coming in. Of course, there have been many challenges facing the election this year, but she said that the staff is doing a great job dealing with the changes. So, whether you're young or old, how can you make sure your voice is heard throughout the voting process? If you are an active and registered voter, you should have already received your mail-in ballot, as well as a voter information guide. You can check your registration status at sos.ca.gov/elections. Ballots can be mailed so long as they are postmarked before Election Day, November 3rd, dropped off directly at the Elections Office at 950 Maidu Avenue, Suite 210, Nevada City, or returned at one of many drop boxes around the county. If you choose to mail in your ballot, you can track it through the state's Where's My Ballot initiative at california.ballottracks.net/voter to make sure your vote is counted. If you would rather vote in person, there are 8 vote centers throughout Nevada County. All vote centers except the North San Juan Community Center will be open for voting October 31st through November 3rd from 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. The North San Juan Vote Center will only be open on Election Day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. More information about the drop boxes, mail-in voting procedures, and in-person vote center locations can be found in your voter information guide, or on the County Elections Office website at mynevadacounty.com/elections. If your ballot is lost or damaged, registered voters can request a replacement ballot online at mynevadacounty.com/replacement ballot. They can then be picked up in person at various locations, including vote centers and the Nevada County Fairgrounds. There are also accommodations for disabled voters or voters with a language barrier. Each vote center and ballot drop box location has been surveyed to confirm that it is ADA accessible. Handheld magnifying glasses are also available at each vote center, as well as touch writers that can read your ballot out loud to you. If a vote center is not accessible to you, or if you need in-person assistance, you may vote a paper ballot from your car. More information about requesting curbside voting assistance can be found in your voter information guide. Spanish facsimile ballots are also available at each vote center, and the county has partnered with Language Line Solutions to provide video interpreting services at each center for over 200 languages and American Sign Language. Every vote counts, especially in our local elections. Regardless of what method you use, how old you are, or anything else, make sure to make your voice heard. Back to you, Cole.
Thanks, Sonora. At Tuesday's Board of Supervisors meeting, the board approved a plan to acquire the Coach and 4 Motel as part of the Home Key project. The 18-unit motel will initially continue as a temporary emergency housing for people experiencing homelessness with a focus on families, veterans, and other vulnerable groups, with plans to remodel, update, and convert the Coach and 4 Motel into permanent housing beginning in 2021. The purchase was made possible through $2.8 million in funding from the state's Home Key project. The grant includes $528,000 for operating funds over the first 2 years. The county will partner with AMI Housing to oversee the property, including security, navigation services, and on-site management. We've seen an increase of 32 COVID-19 cases this week, bringing our total to 635 confirmed cases. 48 cases are currently active with 2 hospitalizations. 22,959 tests have been performed, an increase of 771 tests this week, and the death toll remains at 8. For the most up-to-date information available, visit mynevadacounty.com/coronavirus. Our local library continues to host a myriad of events, from science experiments to story time to crafting. This coming week, they're hosting a virtual local author showcase. The event takes place over 3 days, beginning Thursday, November 5th at 5:30 p.m. The first webinar will be featuring Shelley Covert from the Nevada City Rancheria and California Heritage Indigenous Research Project and Megan Jost from Colors by Megan. Friday at 5:30 will feature local authors Aventi Centre, Shirley Dickard, Celeste Leone, and June Sylvester Saraceno, and they'll be discussing fiction writing, what inspires them, and how they approach writing. The event will conclude Saturday with 2 webinars, the first beginning at 10:30. You'll hear from locals such as Angie from the Bookseller in Grass Valley, as well as Daniel Elkin, a teacher at Bitney Prep High School and co-founder of Field Mouse Press, talking about what they do to support Nevada County authors. Then at 12 p.m., Molly Fisk, inaugural Nevada City Poet Laureate, will be talking about putting together the statewide poetry anthology, California Fire and Water, from the grant she received from the Academy of American Poets, as well as her own writing. To sign up or find out more about this event and everything going on at the library, visit Nevada County Library on Facebook. Here at Nevada County Media, with the help of the Superintendent of Schools office, we're hosting an art contest and exhibit for kids K through 12th grade. The theme of this show is Grateful For and runs November 9th through the 20th. Viewing is Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4 p.m., and we will host a virtual tour for those who don't feel comfortable coming in person, which will air November 23rd at 6 p.m. There's a $25 cash prize for each top grade level piece, as well as a VIP pass to tour the exhibit prior to opening day. Art can be drawings, paintings, or sculptures. The piece must have a Grateful For concept and can be no larger than 24 by 24 inches. There is 1 entry per student or entry per class. Artwork must be completely dry at drop-off time. Be sure to include your name and phone number on the back of the piece of art and be accompanied by an entry form. Winners will be asked to participate in a pre-recorded on-camera interview for the virtual tour. The virtual tour can be viewed on our website's Watch Now page, on Facebook, and on Comcast Channel 11. The deadline to enter and drop off is November 4th at 4 p.m., so get your artists working on their creation soon. For more information and to download your entry form, visit nevadacountymedia.org/art4kids. Halloween is tomorrow, and with so many changes, we wanted to hear how our fellow community members will be celebrating this year. Sonora went to downtown Grass Valley to find out.
Hi, this is Sonora Slater with Nevada County Now. I'm here today in downtown Grass Valley, dressed as Mulan, to talk to people about what their plans are for this very unusual Halloween. So, what have you guys been enjoying here with the decorations in Grass Valley? What do you think of them?
So for her school, we're supposed to walk around today and count up all the different decorations and make tally marks of them. So that's what we're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you guys' plans for Halloween? Apart from that, are you going to try to do anything tomorrow, or?
We're gonna carve some pumpkins, and then she's gonna go with her dad. And what are you gonna do with Daddy?
I'm gonna drive through a haunted house.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. And then my 12-year-old son, or he's almost 12, he's gonna there's like a program at Neo Youth Center. They're gonna be watching videos or watch a Halloween movie on the lawn outside, social distancing tonight. So that's what he's gonna do.
So, what have you guys been enjoying out here with the Halloween decorations? What do you think of them?
Oh, I think they're great. I love Halloween decorations. I particularly have enjoyed the werewolf and the hearse. I think they're really fun. It's really nice to be able to keep a little bit of something up, even though things have changed a little this year.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of decorating the street, and it's nice to have a closed-off street where there's no traffic and you can just leisurely enjoy all the decorations.
Cool. So what are you guys' plans for Halloween? Are you planning on doing anything this year, or?
Probably not. I'll probably Zoom with my art group. We're usually in Oaxaca this time of year for Dia de los Muertos, which is the Mexican celebration at this time of year. And we had to cancel this year, so we'll probably do some sort of sugar skull makeup and Zoom.
Cool.
No, we're new to the area, and we asked our neighbors, do we get kids for Halloween? And they said over the years they've really decreased, and there probably won't be any kids. There weren't any last year, so we probably won't even have any candy. We might buy some just in case, but
Just in case.
other than that, I won't be Zooming. I'll just be listening to hers.
Yeah, I think the decorations are cool because we've kind of been, it seems like there's been a bigger effort to create something that's festive for the community. So we come down here all the time just to come look at everything, and just so he can experience a part of Halloween, because we don't know how we actually are going to experience it this year. So we're not really into the gathering thing, and there's a bunch of gatherings that I've heard about, but we don't really know what to expect in those, so we're kind of like, we're still being cautious. Yeah. But he loves it down here.
Thanks, Sonora. This year for Halloween, to truly set the mood, there will be a full moon. This occurrence won't happen again until 2039. This full moon is called the Hunter's Moon, the first one after the Harvest Moon. It's also a blue moon, the second full moon of the month, and it's also a micromoon, the smallest full moon of 2020, since it's the furthest away from Earth. Also, as a reminder, this Sunday morning is the transition from daylight savings time to standard time. Be sure to set your clocks back 1 hour. We'll leave you tonight with a montage of Halloween decor from Grass Valley. Hope you all have a safe and happy time, whatever you get up to. Remember, stay safe, take care of each other. We'll see you next week.